When the people are denied the right to exist, the rise of the revolutionary is inevitable. Power to the people.
Growing up in Seattle, I didn't know growing up anywhere else.
We grew up with this rainbow of color, of friends and community. The fact that we lived across the street from Majona Park, we could just leave and go to the park and we would just be there all day until it was time to come in. That park was our training ground for everything, for fighting, for friends, for sports. One thing that sticks out to me was the unity and the love that we had, and that's where Renetta and Asali and Melvin Dixon and Jake Fiddler and Valentine Hobbs and many, many other great comrades came together. Those are the best years of the Seattle chapter.
I knew in terms of growing up. Growing up as a teenager in Seattle, the neighborhood was quite diverse. But the interesting thing about where we lived, we actually lived a block away from the Red Line. Of course, we didn't know that the Red Line existed when we were growing up.
Columbia City was very racist back then, very hostile. And they used to ride around with guns in the back windows of their trucks. We did everything they did. We were just legal. We not only were armed, but we were trained. They knew it. So they were very cautious. And when we came, they got out of our way because we weren't playing.
Well, for me, it was when I had the opportunity to walk with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King got to the bandstand to speak. I had an automatic reaction. You have to understand that our generation experienced political assassinations. First John F. Kennedy, and then Medgar Evers, and then Malcolm X. After that experience, I started going out on marches and demonstrations.
J. Edgar Hoover naming the Black Panther Party the #1 threat to the internal security of the United States. Destroy, discredit, disrupt. The media was feeding on negative stories to try to make us look like we were not. And so there was this fear that we were somehow racist or somehow violent to the point where don't be around them. But the people that were close in the community to us knew better. They saw us as their protectors.
I believe it was in 1969 in the spring. We went out to the Capitol in Olympia, Washington, which is about 60 miles south of Seattle. And we went there as a group to protest. They wanted us where we couldn't carry our guns openly, so there was a protest going on.
The reason why black people don't love themselves, the fact that, every imagery that we see shows black in a negative light. Devil's food cake is black, angel food cake is white. The good cowboy wears a white outfit with a shiny white horse, and the bad cowboy is called Black Bart and has a dirty horse and dirty clothes. And so it wasn't until then that it began to dawn on me that there was this difference. Because as Aaron had said, growing up, we had been taught, by our parents not to judge someone by the color of their skin.
That this really wasn't about black and white. That this was about revolutionary international struggle. It was about the oppressed and the oppressor.
We've provided the blueprint. Create your own organization that addresses, the issues that you are faced with today.
Most Panthers will say that being in the Black Panther Party, no matter how long they were in, was the most important part of their life. If they had to do it all over again, the sacrifice, the blood, the funerals, and all the hard work and everything, they will say, I will do it again, because it was the most significant thing in their life.
This group of people who were courageous and had plans. It wasn't just a club. It was serious stuff, and they talked very seriously about what it was they wanted.
The notion is somehow we have to help the young people not just protest, but they have to program themselves in a way so they can last longer.
So don't forget your history, because if you forget your history, then you lose focus and you get distracted by a lot of things that aren't important. The thing that I think is most important is for people to remember this history, and that oppression, bigotry, racism, homophobia, the whole list, and don't make the same mistakes.
It's gave me some direction in life, and I've never dropped it. I've been working every day of my life since I became a Panther, as a Panther.
People to the power, power to the people. You have no power if you have no people. People, power comes from the people. People to the power, power to the people. You have no power if you have no people. People, power comes from